Morning, everybody. It is 8:53 on this Monday morning. This is your pre-opening comment. It is video number 2232 for Monday the 26th. Okay, let's get started here. Asia and Europe both mixed to lower. This is all about oil and Israel. Bombings over the weekend from both sides. Hard to put too fine a point on who started what at this point, but the oil, as you can see, was as low on Thursday as $73.17. This morning has been over $77. 77.12 is the last, was the high. 77.05, up $2.22 is the last. As far as other futures, as usual, we have the grains lower. We have nat gas down another 3.5 cents. We have the gold sitting pretty close to the high of the day, 25.6170. 25.6140 the last. That's up 15. The silver is up about 25 cents. We have the copper up about 2.7 cents. Not much else going on really, but the cotton is slightly higher, coffee is slightly lower, sugar is slightly higher, cocoa is again higher. As far as stocks, we have the Dow's implied open up about 48. I've seen it down a little to up a little. This is really, nothing overwhelming at this point. We have the 10-year yield down about 1 basis point. The dollar is a little bit weaker. S&P is up about $4. I did see it up about $12, so a little bit of action to the downside off the highs, but still up on the day. And the NASDAQ is down about 36, which is not really much of a surprise considering what we have coming this week. Bitcoin down about 135, and the bonds are up 3 ticks. As far as news around this morning at 8:30, we had durable goods orders. They were up 9.9% for July. Expectation was for up less than half of that, up 0.4. That follows a decrease in June of 6.9%. That was revised back to 6.6%. Excluding transportation, durable goods orders decreased 0.2% in July. Expectations, the consensus was down about 0.1, following a 0.1% increase in June, which was revised from 0.5. So big reductions there. We have a lot of earnings this week. We have NVIDIA on Wednesday. We also on Wednesday have CrowdStrike and CRM, Salesforce. We have Dell and Lululemon on Thursday, but we do have other less notables and less market moving all week. We have Pinduoduo. Now, China's been promising all kinds of a restart. It's been 2 years. They have failed miserably. I mentioned that in last night's letter. This morning, Pinduoduo, PDD, reported a beat but missed on revenues. So they can manipulate the numbers there pretty well too. The stock is 115.07 on that beat. and that's down 17.6%, or just under $25. Intel hires advisors to help defend itself against activist investors. What they ought to do is they ought to find a CEO that they don't have to pay $150 million to have the stock cut by 2/3 in price. It's currently 2060, and that's up 6 cents. Canadian Pacific in Kansas City Southern is also restarting rail operations, followed by an order by the Canadian Railroad. And Lululemon having success with some less expensive versions of its premium products. The stock is $269.79. That's up $1.24. Or 0.5%. As I said, Europe and Asia are both weaker on the war. It seems that we are holding prices somewhat in check on the basis of the fact that production is still pretty high, but everybody is counting on the September rate cut, and that, of course, everybody feels will influence demand. The downside of that, I don't see it as very likely, but unless demand picks up sharply, I would strongly suggest that OPEC and OPEC Plus, who have said they are going to increase production, will not be doing that unless we see a substantial increase in demand. Okay, last on the futures, we have up $4.64 in the S&P, up $52 in the Dow, and still down about $33 in the NASDAQ. Have a good day. Be careful out there. We got lots going on this week. We also, by the way, at the end of the week, have the Fed's absolute favorite inflation number, which is the PCE, and we also have GDP this week.